Hello and welcome to another episode of Ash Recaps. Today, I'm going to recap a family comedy holiday special movie from 1996 called Jingle All the Way. Spoilers ahead. Watch out, relax, and enjoy the video. The film begins with a fight sequence between Turbo Man, who is the ultimate hero of the generation, and his arch-nemesis, Dementor. As expected, the hero defeats the villain without too much of a problem, and that's when we meet Jamie, who's probably Turbo Man's biggest fan. Jamie's mom, Liz, tells him to get ready for his karate ceremony as he will be getting a brand new belt. However, Jamie isn't quite ready to leave for his event given that his dad Howard hasn't gotten home and Jamie doesn't want his dad to miss it. And that's when we meet the star of the movie, Howard Langston. Howard is picking up calls left and right and is flirting with work. Each time he finishes a call, he doesn't forget to let them know that they are his #1 customer. Liz calls him during work and is upset when she finds that he hasn't even left the office to attend their son's ceremony. Once he realizes he's late, he rushes out of the office to try to make it to the event, but finds an insane amount of traffic, and when he is finally able to step on the gas, he gets a speeding ticket. The scene then cuts back to Jamie, who is now performing his karate tricks and chops as he gets ready to receive his brand new belt. As this is happening, Liz is anxiously waiting for Howard while she is being chatted up by some douche named Ted. Man, I feel sorry for poor Liz. Anyway, thinking he was going to be able to make it to the ceremony in time, Howard realizes that he is far too late and missed watching Jamie going from yellow belt to purple. Jamie was very disappointed when he realized that his father did not show up. Visibly upset, Howard returns home to find Ted putting up the Christmas lights at Langston residence without the family's permission, which Howard doesn't like one bit. As soon as Howard steps foot in his home, he is obviously scolded by his wife and kid for never being present at any of the family's major events. He apologizes to his son privately and sincerely, promising he will make the effort to be more present, but Jamie not only wants his dad to attend his events, he wants him to get him a special gift for Christmas this year, and it's none other than Turbo Man, the hottest toy of the year. Jamie excitedly tells Howard all of the toy's features and even imitates the commercial to an impressively accurate scale. Howard finally gets his son's forgiveness as he promises to get him the thing that Jamie wants more than anything in the world, his Turbo Man toy. Fast forward to Christmas Eve, Liz asks Howard if he remembered to get Jamie the Turbo Man present he wanted, which he forgot about obviously. He tries to play it cool and pretends he already has it but left it at the office, quickly leaving the house to search for the precious toy at whatever store he can as he promises to make it back in time for the Christmas parade. Howard speeds up to a nearby toy store where he encounters Myron, a postman who is also desperately searching for a Turbo Man action figure. Myron talks nonstop about whatever crosses his mind at the moment, but Howard can't afford to listen, asking employees about the toy, but of course it's sold out, with the only available option being Booster, who is Turbo Man's sidekick, who apparently everyone hates. He leaves the store and is once again setting out to search for Jamie's present, the one thing he promised he'd get right. Howard visits countless toy stores, but doesn't strike luck in any of them as he grows more and more stressed. In the next scene, we see Liz making Christmas cookies for the family, and while Ted claims that he's helping, he is only eating the food and once again trying to get close to her. Howard calls the house phone, but Ted picks up the phone and attempts to imply that something is going on between Liz and himself, making Howard fume in anger as he screams at Ted to not eat his cookies. Howard eventually hangs up the phone and runs into Myron, the postman from earlier. Myron suggests forming an alliance between the two so they can help each other out in the Turbo Man search. However, Howard kindly refuses, telling him that he's got no time to waste. This makes Myron go full-on psychotic mode as he talks trash to Howard and promises revenge. While the postman is spewing hate, some guy across the street is bearing good news. The toy store at the mall has just received a shipment with a limited number of the action figure everyone so desperately wants. Howard rushes to the mall and once again encounters Myron. The rules are fairly simple. They need a ball in order to be eligible to buy the toy due to their limited number of stock. Of course, people go ballistic and the toy store quickly becomes a madhouse with everyone fighting and struggling just to get a simple ball. Howard manages to obtain a ball, but he accidentally drops it to the bottom floor of the mall. He wastes no time in chasing it down, but a little girl gets a hold of it. Howard tries to persuade her into giving it back, but the little girl refuses, causing Howard to try to forcefully take it from her. When the girl's parents notice this, they accuse him of being a pervert and start beating him up. Feeling defeated, Howard gets a ray of hope in the shape of one of those mall Santas. He seems to have a way of getting him the Turbo Man he wants. All he needs to do is drive them to the warehouse where they keep their toys. Well, any person with a little common sense would refuse this offer, but seeing as he has nothing to lose, Howard accepts. They leave the mall and head to a sketchy warehouse that is filled with dozens of Santas and elves, making it appear at least a little more legit. Howard purchases Turbo Man for a hefty amount of $300. Desperate times call for desperate measures. However, as soon as he lays eyes on the expensive toy, he realizes that it's the international version of Turbo Man and that he has been scammed. And before you know, a fight breaks out between a bunch of Santas and elves versus Howard. As he was putting up a good fight, an entire police squad arrives at the scene and puts a stop to the fake Turbo Man manufacturing operation. To save his neck, Howard pretends to be an undercover detective who was about to bust them. As he leaves the warehouse, his car unexpectedly fails, and now he has to walk and do whatever it takes to get Turbo Man. A real one this time. He calls the house phone once again, and this time Jamie picks up the phone, obviously upset as it appears that Howard won't make it into the Christmas parade yet again. They get into a fight as Jamie tells him he doesn't keep his promises and is not half as cool as Ted is. And not even giving Howard a chance to explain, he hangs up the phone. Poor Howard. He then heads to a diner to catch a breath and once again runs into Myron, who seems to be in a much more peaceful mood and not so keen on executing revenge. They share a drink and vent their feelings of not being a good father and how they always manage to screw things up even when their hearts aren't the right place. Myron then talks about his own disappointments with his father, explaining that due to his constant absence, he grew up to be a loser. As Howard falls deeper into desperation, the peaceful moment between them is over when a radio announcement interrupts it. Apparently, they have a Turbo Man figure at the station, and whoever can answer question correctly will be able to get their hands on the doll. Of course, that means the truce is over between the two, and Howard rushes to the station and breaks in like a madman, doing everything he can to get Jamie exactly what he wants. However, his plans backfire when the host is scared of the lunatic that just barged in and immediately calls the police. Things get worse when Myron also breaks in, claiming that one of the packages he has is a gun, and if he doesn't get the action figure, he will be setting it off. And as we all expected, the so-called gun is only just a harmless random toy. The radio host then explains that he doesn't have the toy with him. He only has a gift card to be able to get the toy whenever it gets back in stock. Disappointed, the two men attempt to leave the building but are intercepted by the police. Once again, Myron pretends he has a bomb in his hands and threatens the cops to let him go. Scared for their lives, they let Howard and Myron go. The policemen suspect it's not really a bomb, but are not so pleasantly surprised when the package explodes right in their face. Well, that makes Myron a terrorist and Howard an accomplice, but the movie doesn't dwell about it too much. Seeing that he was not able to fulfill the Turbo Man promise, Howard heads home in hopes to be able to make it in time for the Christmas parade. Once Howard reaches home, he notices Ted helping Liz and Jamie in decorating their house, which obviously infuriates him. Now that he's committed to the life of crime, Howard breaks into Ted's home with intentions of stealing the Turbo Man toy he has for his own kid. He is finally able to get his hands on the toy but feels guilty about stealing from a child, as he should. So he returns to Ted's house and places the present safely underneath the tree once again. Just when he thinks the coast is clear, Ted and Liz catch Howard red-handed, causing his wife to disappointedly tell him not to bother coming with them to the parade as she leaves with a despicable neighbor. As they leave, a reindeer who also happens to be Ted's pet apparently appears out of nowhere and looks just about ready to kill Howard. Soon enough, a chase between the two ensues, and eventually Howard manages to subdue the animal. Apologizing as he does so, now more determined than ever to make things right, he sets off to the parade on his own. We get back to Liz and Ted, who let the kids go and explore the parade on their own. As the kids leave, Ted finally makes a bold move and attempts to kiss Liz as he confesses his feelings for her, but she doesn't reciprocate them and proceeds to throw eggnog on his face and leaves. On the other hand, Howard finally makes it to the parade where police spots him. As he tries to shake the cops, he gets confused for the main guy and is dragged into yet another sketchy warehouse. There, he's forced to remove his clothes and wear a superhero suit that also has some super gadgets that actually work. He then gets thrown into a parade car, and it is revealed that he is dressed as Turbo Man himself, and he is absolutely loving it. He finally feels the love he has been craving from the audience, and even spots Jamie and Liz amongst the huge crowd. Suddenly, the parade commenters announce that Turbo Man will be choosing a kid from the audience to win a special edition action figure of the beloved character, and as expected, Howard chooses his own kid to win the prize. Finally getting the doll he wanted after thousands of failed attempts, he calls Jamie by name and has him come up on stage, finally giving Jamie the present he always wanted, who is unaware that his dad is underneath the costume. It's about time that Howard should finally be able to let out a breath of relief, but Dementor, Turbo Man's arch-enemy, jumps onto the stage and orders Jamie to give him the doll. It is revealed that the man behind the Dementor suit is actually Myron himself, trying to steal the action figure from Jamie to give to his own kid. Things quickly turn ugly, and Myron even kidnaps poor Jamie as Howard, or shall we say the Turbo Man, goes full-on rage mode on Myron, using the powers in the suit to defeat him.
It's Turbo Power!
Howard is finally able to defeat Myron and gets Jamie to safety and reveals his true identity to Liz and his son, who excitedly hug him. All the while, Myron is apprehended by the police, but before he gets taken to the station, Jamie gives him the Turbo Man toy, claiming that his dad is the real hero, as the crowd cheers him up, and the movie ends here. In an after-credit scene, Howard is shown finishing decorating the Christmas tree as Liz asks him what he got for her for Christmas, which causes Howard to once again go full-on panic mode as he remembers that he didn't get her anything. Oh, poor Howard. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, then give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. If you like to watch more videos like this, then don't forget to subscribe the channel and click the bell icon to turn on notifications. We'll see you with another amazing video soon. Take care and goodbye.